Welcome to Spiraling Soul, a podcast where we merge spirituality and psychology to consciously live life and gain greater self-awareness. I'm Emma, and that's Casey. And congrats on beginning the spiral. Today's episode, we're going to talk about dreams, lucid dreaming, sleep paralysis, and the astral realm. And disclaimer, take what resonates. And also, we've done absolutely no research on this episode. This is all just going off our own personal knowledge and experiences. Our ADHD is just preventing us from doing research right now. So we're just going to talk about something that we know a lot about and we're really passionate about today, which is dreams. I personally love dreams, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, so if you were so excited for the shadow work and inner child healing episode that we talked about last episode, we apologize, but we just can't bring ourselves to film that today.
So yeah, let's get into it. I personally have always been obsessed with dreams. I've always thought they're so fascinating. And I remember I did a project on dreams in the 8th grade, and that's because I had to do research about it and stuff. And that was when I really started finding so much fascination in dreams and started learning about lucid dreaming and stuff. I don't know, this is just really random, but have you ever seen this picture of a man that's apparently a man that everyone sees in their dreams?
Wait, no?
Oh, really? Okay, it's this picture of a man it's people have put it on a poster and stuff, and it says, "Have you seen this man in your dreams?" And it's just this weird looking man with a unibrow.
We'll have to post that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hold up. I need to look this up.
We'll definitely post a picture, but something about, because I added that in my 8th grade project on dreams, and just something about that was just so fascinating to me. So I'm excited to get into our theories on dreams and the dream universe and all that stuff.
Isn't there a movie about this that's coming out?
Is there?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't hear of a movie, sure. But I'll be watching it.
It's called, the drawing is called This Man, and no, I have never seen that man, but he looks a little bit scary.
Yeah, he is a little creepy.
I feel like I've always been into dreams, because I've always had really vivid dreams, but I think it was my junior year of high school, I started this antidepressant that would make me have very vivid nightmares every time I hit REM sleep. And so I was just waking up multiple times a night from nightmares. Yeah, and so I think that's when I got really into dreams. Have you ever had a repeating dream?
Yeah, and I don't have them that often, but I've had one repeating dream, and everyone who knows me knows about this dream because it's so silly. It's involving Trisha Paytas. The first dream, yeah, I don't know why, but the first dream I had, I was the passenger and she was driving, and we accidentally hit a pedestrian. And then we were on the run from the police. And then the second dream, we were at her house and she was prepping me. She's like, "Okay, the FBI is coming. Act cool. Don't say anything to give us away." And I don't think I've had any other repeating dreams before or after that I can remember. So it's weird that that's the only one. But yeah, I guess Trisha and I are on the run from police in my dreams.
I could so see her sitting you down too and being like, "Emma, be cool. We did just hit this man, but it doesn't matter. Just be cool. Yeah. They won't know anything." Anytime I see Trisha Paytas now, I think of you.
Yeah. Have you had any repeating dreams?
Yes. Side note, I want to talk about my first dream ever. The first dream I ever remember having, and then I'll talk about a repeating dream. Well, the first dream I ever had was kind of a repeating dream because I woke up and then I fell back asleep and went back into the dream. So it was the night before we were gonna go to like Disneyland. I was so young. I had this dream that this older pirate wanted to marry me. And he was really scary and he was really ugly. And he's like, marry me, marry me, marry me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to marry you. I am a literal child. And then he's like, fine, if you're not going to marry me, I'm going to torture your brother. And so they had this giant cheese grater and they were grating my brother on the cheese grater. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll marry you. And so then they stopped, and then I was like, Gunner's my brother. Gunner, we gotta go, we gotta escape. But every time I would try to escape, they'd capture him and start torturing him again. And it was just like the weirdest type of tortures. And then I woke up because I was scared. And then I have so, like, the majority of my dreams are nightmares.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that. Like, I feel like most of my dreams, they're not nightmares, because I'll get into, like, what nightmares are for me, but none of them are ever good. They're always really weird, kind of off-putting. I always wake up from a vivid dream, like, feeling weird. I never wake up and I never wake up and I'm like, oh, that was a really good dream. It's always like, what? What just happened?
Yeah. It also is very interesting to me when people say they don't have dreams, like, ever.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we both have a lot of dreams. Like, we have vivid dreams.
Like, almost every night. Like, if I do not dream, it's uncommon.
I'll remember maybe 25% of my dreams enough that I can explain them. 50% of them, when I wake up, I kind of have some kind of inkling of a memory, but I can't even put it into words. It's just a general vibe, or like I see a image in my head, but I can't even explain it really. Yeah, it's weird.
I think maybe my dreams are like trying to tell me something if I can remember it and no one else can remember theirs.
Yeah, I wonder what makes you remember your dreams more than other people, or even like varying night to night. Like, sometimes I remember my dream enough to explain the whole thing.
Like, what I do is if it's a really interesting dream, I'll wake up and I'll either write just tidbits down, or I've like voice memoed you some dreams after waking up, and it's just like, like I just try to get as much as I can out so that I don't forget.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because most of the time if you don't write it or like talk it out right away, then it goes away.
One of my oldest dreams, and it was a reoccurring dream, was I was at my grandparents' house, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I walked down their stairs, and like halfway down the stairs, you could like look out into the living room, and if you peeked kind of around the corner, you could see their dining room, and I could hear talking. And I was like, what is this talking? And I looked over, and it was my grandparents, and there were a bunch of ghosts around the dining table, and they were all just hanging out talking. I was like, oh, that's weird. And my grandma believes in ghosts too. So I'm like, it's not impossible for grandma to be talking to ghosts. We actually think her house is low-key haunted. But anyways, I think I've seen some stuff there. Anyway, so I run down the stairs into my parents' room, and I open the door. I'm like, Mom, Dad, and no one's answering, so I pull back the covers, and a pig comes out and then a bat, like a baseball bat that's flying, comes out. And that's a reoccurring dream that I've had. I've had that like twice. Oh, and then I had this other, oh my gosh, I cannot run in my dreams. For the life of me, I can't run. I did cross country. Running is my thing. I can't run in my dreams. I will try my hardest, but it's like I'm running through water. Like, it goes so slow. And so I had this dream that I'm trying to run from people. In my dreams, I'm always getting chased by something. I'm always running away from something, which could be like some kind of, I don't know, subconscious thing, maybe my subconscious trying to be like, hey, you're running from something in your life and you need to like face it. But anyways, in my dream, I'm trying to run and I see Mrs. Elaine, who was like a lady who worked in my after school care program when I was really little. And she's like, oh, hop on my back. And so I'd hop on her back and she would run for me. And it was just weird. It was really weird. Somehow a birthday party was involved. Like, I've had that one multiple times, like a lot. Wait, have you had any reoccurring dreams that didn't involve Trisha Paytas?
No, I think that's my only one that I can remember. But when you were talking about your earliest dream, I was trying to think of what my earliest dream was, and I remember I had a dream that there was a T-Rex like walking through the city. And then I woke up and he was like roaring and stuff, and I woke up and there's a thunderstorm, and the thunder was the T-Rex roar. So it's interesting that dreams like incorporate so much of real life. Or like, whenever your alarm's going off and you're not waking up and in your dream it's like a song or something.
Yeah. I've had it where like when I have sleep paralysis, I'll imagine real life stuff going on and real life sounds going on in my sleep paralysis dream.
Have you ever had a false awakening dream? Because I used to have that a lot, where I'd wake up and go through like my whole morning routine and get to school, and then I wake up for real.
Yeah. That's the worst. I've had that. Those ones are annoying because it's like, now you have to go through it twice.
Yeah. I'm just curious, before we get into more things about nightmares, sleep paralysis. I know a lot of people think that dream symbolism is a thing, but some people think that themes in your dream are just random. I don't know. Do you think that dream symbolism is real? Like, when you, like, for example, I have a lot of dreams about my teeth falling out. That's my number one. Like, it's not a reoccurring dream, but it's like my biggest theme. Like, every couple weeks I have a dream that my teeth are falling out, or like my jaw is like coming off. Yeah, or like my teeth are crumbling. Yeah, I think maybe it's like, I've looked up the symbolism for it, and the internet says things like anxiety, which could be true because I am anxious. But I also think it's because I grind my teeth in my sleep, so maybe it's also incorporating my literal body into it. So if you consider that recurring, that is also a recurring theme. It's always a different story, but I have those dreams a lot.
Like a reoccurring thing that pops up in my dreams a lot are alligators. Like, I see alligators a lot in my dreams.
Oh, interesting.
I think that we can give dreams meaning. Like, if you want to give your dream meaning, you'll always be able to find meaning in it. Kind of like the tarot cards. Like, if you want to find something, there you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, if there's like a weird thing that I don't see in my dreams a lot, I will look it up and be like, what's the meaning of this? And then see if that applies to maybe circumstances that are happening.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
about
that
you?
makes sense. What I know about dreams from a scientific standpoint is or like more literal, I think your brain is sorting the information that you've taken in for the day and then choosing what to let go of. Like, that's what kind of happens in your sleep, like with your memory. Like, it's just kind of processing things out. I don't know. It's always so weird because there are dreams that seem really symbolic. Like, I've had dreams that I woke up and I was like, that actually gave me clarity or even closure on situations. Like, for example, I've had dreams about people from my past that I'm no longer like in contact with that gave me a certain type of closure and just like healing in a way. But I've also had dreams that are really random. Like the other night, I randomly had a dream about Obama. Like I met Obama.
Oh, yeah.
And was talking to Obama in my dream. And I'm like, I haven't thought about Obama in a long time. I don't know why he's in my dream, and nothing really happened. We just had a conversation. And I was like, that's just so random. So,
wait,
I don't know.
Tell them what you asked Obama.
We were hanging out and I was like, oh, so what did you want to be when you were, or what did you say you wanted to be when you grew up, when you were a kid? The president of the United States? And then we both started laughing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, my dreams definitely do incorporate things that maybe were kind of in my mind, but not in my conscious mind. Like I also had a dream I was on a cruise, and I remember I talked about something having to do with the cruise the other day. So I'm like, maybe that just stuck around in my mind and they created a whole thing about it. I don't know. And it's crazy that we can't know for sure. Like we can study dreams all, like scientists have studied, the REM cycle, like delta waves, all that type of stuff, but we'll never know for sure what dreams actually mean.
Unless we contact our spirit guides and they tell us that they're contacting us through our dreams. But then no one will believe us anyways. Speaking of the teeth falling out, I had this dream that I was in a bowling alley hanging out with the vlog squad, like David Dobrik and them. And then I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And so then I went in the bathroom and I smiled and I had like a piece of food in between my teeth. And so I tried to pull it out and I kept pulling. And it was like this long thread and this long string that just kept coming out. And then it like unraveled my tooth. I hate teeth dreams. Teeth dreams freak me out. Which is why when you said you have them often, I was like, that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I actually haven't had one in a while. So maybe that's a good thing. But yeah, they really stress me out a lot. I also have a lot of impending doom type dreams. Like, it's something like a event, like a crazy negative event is about to happen, but it hasn't. Like a nuclear bomb is about to go off. A flood is about to come. A creature on the loose is about to come. And so my dreams a lot of times are me and all like the community preparing for this event. So maybe it's my brain telling me, like subconsciously trying to prepare me for something to happen. I don't know.
I just looked up and today.com says teeth in your dream represent our ability to nourish ourselves and communicate. When teeth appear in dreams, the dreamer should reflect on whether they are able to speak their truth and communicate effectively. Are you suppressing how you feel?
I do also have a lot of dreams that I can't talk or like can't get my voice out.
I've had them where I can't yell.
Mm-hmm.
Or it be like so quiet and I'm like, help, help, help.
Yeah, same. So I feel like both of us have a lot of unsettling dreams, but I feel like there's definitely a line between unsettling or like uncomfortable and a straight up nightmare. And I feel like I didn't really understand this until I had a period of my life that I started having actual nightmares. Yeah, do you like have a distinguishable difference between nightmares and like just unsettling dreams?
I guess nightmares always end up waking me up, whereas unsettling dreams, I can play them out until the.
To me, I classify nightmares, yeah, like things that I do definitely wake up from quicker. A lot of times I've had nightmares during a nap too, which is interesting. Like
Yes.
I'll have nightmares during a nap or like if I wake up and fall back asleep. So I wonder why that is. But I actually had a period, it was actually right before the pandemic happened. So that's kind of interesting. But I had a period of time where I had nightmares a lot. And some of them I don't even want to talk about because it's stuff that I can't even comprehend why my brain would think that. But a couple of them I will talk about. Like one of them, it was a nap dream. It's always a nap dream or nightmare. But I was watching the apocalypse in front of me, like, meteors falling, watching the whole city on fire. And then but then it also turned a little bit lucid because I was looking and I was like, this can't be real. Like I can't be in the apocalypse right now. And then I fell through, like a meteor came down and I fell, kept falling, kept falling, and then woke up. Um, I actually did have a recurring nightmare too. During that same period of time, I had a nightmare where I saw this creature, like this ghost, kind of ghost girl. She looked kind of like Samara from The Ring, like pale, like gray skin.
I just watched that.
Really?
I literally just watched that last night. That's so funny you bring that up.
Oh wow, that's weird. Yeah, just a little bit like her, like really long dark hair, gray skin, and like a gray dress. And the creepiest thing about it is her eyes were hollow and black, and her mouth was hollow and black, and her mouth and jaw were going down, like all the way down. And her mouth was just like this big hole, like gaping, yeah. And she had wings, like gargoyle wings. And so I saw her once, woke up scared. Another day, like close, like around that same time, I woke up and had sleep paralysis where I was frozen in bed and I opened my eyes and I saw her in my mirror in my room. And it was really creepy.
Not to like freak you out or anything, but what if this is like something in the astral realm?
Well, I tried looking it up at the time and I couldn't really find anything quite like it. But it's been a while. It's been like 4-ish years since then.
Speaking of sleep paralysis, like most times when I take a nap, I'll get sleep paralysis. Luckily, I don't see stuff. Like a lot of people will see creepy stuff like you do. I'm just like paralyzed. And it's usually because I'll like kind of wake up and then I'm like, okay, I need to get up. And then I can't move. And then I will imagine that I'm like looking at the clock and it's like super late in the day. And I'll be like, dang it, I slept my day away. And then I'll be able to like, in my mind's eye, like my eyes are closed, but in my mind's eye, I can picture my exact environment, but it looks a tiny bit different, and I can hear like talking and stuff going on in the background. But like when I finally wake up, and the only way I can wake up from like the sleep paralysis is if I just accept it and go back to sleep. But when I finally wake up, it'll be like, oh, no one was home. But I can hear conversations like going on. It's interesting. So that also makes me think like, was I in the astral realm? And did I wake up in like a different dimension of the place that I was in? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think before we get more into it, we should just quickly define what sleep paralysis even is. And lucid dreaming too. Lucid dreaming is when you're consciously aware of what's happening in your dream. And then sleep paralysis is kind of a step further than that, where you're consciously aware, but you can open your eyes and see your room or your environment, but you can't move your body. And a lot of people do hallucinate or like see something in their room, or like how I saw that ghost girl in my room, but I couldn't move. And yeah, a lot of times it is solved by you just accepting that you're still dreaming and then shutting your eyes again and going back to sleep. But yeah, it's because when you're in REM sleep, your muscles are, unless you have some kind of like sleepwalking thing going on, your muscles can't move. So you can open your eyes, but you can't move, which is really scary. Can be a scary experience. But I've only experienced sleep paralysis when I'm taking a nap. So I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because we're not fully getting into the deepest delta waves, I think. Maybe it's because we're not getting that full depth of sleep, you know?
Maybe.
But yeah, I've had something like that too, where it was actually when I first started meditating, and I was in a meditation class and we had homework and we had to meditate at home. I was meditating and I couldn't really tell if I fell asleep or not, but all of a sudden it felt like I was kind of lifting out of my body. It's a weird experience. Like it felt like my arms were going like this, but they weren't. And it felt like spiders were crawling up my limbs. And then I started to hear people talking, and I thought maybe my roommates got home. So I opened my eyes, but I couldn't move, and everything looked normal, but nobody was home. And I was like, why was I hearing people talking? It's so weird. And then I told my meditation teacher about it, and he was like, I've never heard of that before. Maybe you should get a sleep study done. And I was like, I don't think it's that serious. But that was also the time I started having nightmares. So I wonder what was going on in my brain at that time. I'm not sure.
Okay, so the sleep paralysis thing, do you think that has anything to do with the astral realm?
I've kind of gone back and forth on my beliefs on if the dream dimension is an actual thing or if it's just your mind. Because I'm like very open to all ideas, and I love learning about things that are out there. And it's funny, I actually, since I was so fascinated with this when I was younger, like in middle school or something, I tried to astral project, and I would listen to this astral projection tape and try to like lift out of my body, and it never really worked back then. But then I unintentionally did it, like, you know, when I was meditating, that story I just said, like, I felt like I was lifting out of my body. But I've kind of gone back and forth. I love listening to stories about it. I think it's fascinating, but I don't quite know if I believe that you go into different dimensions in your sleep or something. I don't know. And maybe it's because I've never experienced that. But it is fascinating that some people have claimed that they, in their sleep, lift out of their body, then look down at their body, then go and like go around their house, leave the house. Like that is kind of a fascinating concept to me.
There were a couple times as a kid that I'm pretty sure I astral projected, because I guess I woke up, I went down the bunk bed, and I was gonna go to my mom's room, and I was walking down the hallway, and then all of a sudden, like, when I opened the door, there were, like, and it was the exact layout of my house, and there were these, like, these giant neon cobwebs, and then this neon spider that was really big that was in the hallway. And because I was so freaked out by it, I, like, ran back up the ladder, and I saw my body, and then I, like, got back in my body, I guess, and then all of a sudden the spider was gone. So I don't know if that was me astral projecting, but there was another time too that, I don't know, it was really weird. It's just something about it was really weird.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So I don't think we've explained what astral projection is. Astral projection, you leave your body and you can, like, walk around the world not in your body. It's like a different dimension, I guess, like the astral realm. From my understanding, I don't know a ton about it. So, Emma, if you have anything to add, like, you can add, but you can also talk to, like, other beings or other people that are astral projecting. Emma and I tried to once with mugwort. Or was mugwort for astral projection, or is mugwort for lucid dreaming?
I think that some people think it can be used to astral project, but I think when we tried it, I just wanted to lucid dream. But it was interesting because neither of us even dreamed or, like, remembered our dream or anything. I wanted to go back to astral projection, though, because the concept of it is just fascinating to me. And again, I don't know if I 100% believe in it, but there's been times that I went and read people's stories online about it. And, you know, it's basically like your soul or whatever lifting out of your body and just exploring the universe, but a different dimension from ours. There's people that have said that they've done it for years, and there's a bunch of different rules, you know, like you have to protect your physical body or you can't return or something like that. Or there's some people have said that they've tried to go to places that are restricted in our realm. Like, there's this one person that's claimed to have tried to astral project to the White House. But then they said that there were some Secret Service people also astral projecting to guard the White House. And then
I've heard
and then I was like, what? Yeah, so then I did more looking into that, and apparently there's some declassified FBI documents. No, not FBI, the CIA. Like, they've studied astral projection, and some people have read through these documents, and they actually have done studies to try and astral project. Again, you never know if it's real or not. I don't know for sure. So it's a fascinating concept thinking about it. And I've definitely, when I was younger, I tried to do it and wasn't successful. So I can't say for sure if I've experienced anything like that. But your story is pretty interesting. And I have had a couple times that I felt like I was lifting out of my body. You know, whether or not that's just, again, whether or not it's just your brain coming up with something or it's an actual thing.
Like, one of my professors in college, he was like, I went to my friend's house, and all of a sudden I saw this, like, ghost pass me. And he's like, what was that? And his friend's like, oh, that's just Amy. That's my wife's friend. She's astral projecting over here. And he was like, I never went back to that place again.
What the heck? That's so crazy.
Yeah. I've heard some people say that it's, like, a bad thing and, like, evil or whatever, but then other people are like, no. I think that a lot of people just get scared of things that they don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard some people say like there's certain entities or whatever you should avoid, or like avoid saying certain things, or maybe it's even that you should avoid saying that you're a human because then they might try and find your body or something.
Oh.
Yeah, but also, yeah, I think the brain is scared of what it doesn't know. So maybe some people have almost astral projected but then got freaked out, or also kind of tried to explain themselves out of it, like, I just been tired and like I'm having a weird dream or something. But I don't know, that is kind of crazy that he said that so casually. Like, oh, that's just my wife's friend astral projecting, it's just a common thing.
That's gonna be us in like 10 years.
Yeah,
so I'm over curious. Like, oh yeah, that's just Emma. She just came to visit. She came to play The Sims since she doesn't have it on her computer.
Yeah. I mean, if it is a real thing that can be mastered, that would be cool. It'd be like a superpower.
Yeah.
You could travel wherever. But personally, I'm not convinced of it myself. But I also do agree that there are things out there that we can't explain. And some things sound really crazy, but then are revealed to be an actual thing. So you never know. You never know. Maybe one day there'll be some type of research on it or something. You never know.
So, lucid dreaming. I don't think I've ever had a lucid dreaming experience, but I know there's a bunch of rules with that too. Like, you're not supposed to say, like, you're not supposed to ask what day or time it is. You're not supposed to say that you're dreaming.
And part of me thinks that those rules aren't like, I think it's because your dreaming brain just can't explain that stuff really. Because if you think about it, in your dream, you can't really tell time, or you can't, because it doesn't really exist in that realm. So maybe it's like your brain just can't make sense of it. I actually feel like I have a lot of knowledge about lucid dreaming because when I started getting really fascinated with dreams, I started to learn about how to lucid dream. And if anyone's interested, there are a couple methods that can help. Although they didn't really help me at first, and then my lucid dreams just came naturally. But a lot of people say if you write down all your dreams, everything you can remember right when you wake up, there's also things you can do like throughout the conscious waking, like whenever you're actually awake. You look at your watch, like, I don't know if many people have watches anymore, but you keep looking at the time or looking at your hands, just some kind of marker that you're awake, like something that's going to tell you that you're awake. So then when you're in your dream, if you get into such a habit of looking at the time and you look at the time in your dream and it looks weird, then you know that you're dreaming. So there's some methods like that. A lot of people say it also helps to lay on your back, like fall asleep looking up. But yeah, those are some methods. Are you interested in hearing my lucid dream stories?
Always.
Yeah, I know you've definitely heard them, but it started off with me having a couple, like I would start to get lucid. I'm like, oh, I think I might be dreaming. But then normally the dream just shifts right away. It's like your dream characters or the plot shifts, and they just don't want you to know that you're dreaming, so it shifts. So I had a couple that I was like, oh, I'm in a dream, and then I fall through the floor and wake up, or like the dream changes. The first time I remember actually doing something with it was I was in a really tall building overlooking the ocean, and I realized I was dreaming, and I was like, oh, I'm dreaming. I can do literally anything. And so I jumped straight through the window, and the window was closed, by the way. So I jumped straight through the glass into the ocean. And the window was closed, by the way. So I jumped through the glass into the ocean. And then as soon as I landed, I woke up.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I had another dream similar to that where I was in my apartment and I realized I was dreaming, so I jumped through the window at my apartment. I don't know why that's my first go-to when I realize I'm dreaming is to jump out the window, but oh, my craziest lucid dream story blew my mind. So I was in a crowded subway and I think I was trying to get back home, but I didn't know where I was. I can't quite remember why I was there, but I was in a crowded subway and I realized I was dreaming because I was like, this would never be happening. And so I was like, oh, I'm in a dream. And so I remembered that you're not, or it's not like you're not supposed to ask your dream characters or tell them that you're in a dream. It's more like you shouldn't say it, but I kind of wanted to because I was like, what's going to happen? Because a lot of people say when you ask that question or like tell them that they're in a dream, they don't like the answer. They don't like to hear that. So I was like, oh, I'm in a dream and you're all not real. And then literally it was like 30 people maybe in the subway. And everybody turns their head to me at once. And their eyes were all like black.
Oh my god.
And it was so crazy. I'm seeing it in my like envisioning it right now. They all turned their heads at the same time to look at me. And then it looped me back to a minute before that. And everything was going back as normal. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, okay, I'm still dreaming and you're still all not real. And the same thing happened. And it kept looping me back. And then I got stuck in this loop of telling them they're not real, looping back a minute. And then all of a sudden my brain is probably like, okay, we're done with this. So it changed the scene completely. And I woke up, in quotations, I woke up in my bed, in my apartment, even though it doesn't look like my apartment. And I got up and went to the living room and my partner was in there and I'm like, hey, I just had the weirdest lucid dream. Like I kept getting stuck in this loop. And he was like, oh, that's weird anyway, and was like trying to get me off the topic of dreams. And it was really sketchy. And then I looked out the window and I saw my backyard, but it didn't look anything like my view out my current apartment. And so I was like, okay, I'm still in a dream. I want to wake up now. So then I woke up. But it was so weird and like blew my mind that I got stuck in this endless loop because I just kept telling my dream characters that they weren't real.
Did you feel tired after? Like you didn't sleep at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of exhausting. Yeah, lucid dreams are so fascinating though, and I really want to be able to harness them more in the future and like continue on with the dream and like do what I want. Maybe I won't tell the characters they're not real next time so that I can have it linger for a little bit longer. But I think it would be cool to get to a point that I can just like fly or create my own story or something like that. But the weird thing about lucid dreaming is that, because I've had other times that I'm kind of lucid, but once you realize you're lucid, it's like not that fun anymore. Because it's like, yeah, you can do what you want, but it's not really as easy as you think it might be to like create a whole new plot or a whole new environment. It's like you're trying to visualize something but can't. Basically, if you're lucid dreaming, the best thing to do is just go with the flow of the dream. You know, don't try and create, because sometimes I try to create the plot and it just doesn't feel as real as just experiencing the dream. So it's like when you're lucid dreaming, I think what you have to do is just go with it. Like whatever you're getting given, you just got to go with it. You can't try and change how the dream is progressing.
I think maybe I'll start keeping a dream journal because I think it'd be cool to lucid dream. I would love to learn more about astral projection so we can meet up in the astral realm and hang out.
Yeah.
And go on adventures.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. Every time I have a dream with you in it, we're always traveling or doing some kind of adventure or like in a different country or different place, like doing some kind of travel. So maybe we are already meeting in the astral realm.
Maybe I just don't remember the dream. That's kind of all we have right now on dreams and sleep paralysis and astral projection. So we're gonna wrap up this episode. We would love to know your experiences with astral projection or the astral realm or dreams. So we'll have a discussion post up on our Reddit page that will be linked in our description, as well as all our other social media that we post a little bit of extra stuff on. Thanks for listening. We appreciate your time and your attention, and we hope that you have a great day.